All right, I was telling you the FBI still has these grave concerns over inaccuracies and everything over the release of this FISA memo that was pushed by some Republicans here. On the phone with us is former FBI investigator Bill Daly. All of this is so unusual, if not unprecedented, Bill, that you have the agency coming out to make a statement, you know, this doesn't help. What do you think of it?
Yeah, Neil, certainly, as you said, very unprecedented all around. I think, you know, in this particular case, and again, I think, you know, for all of us, you know, we're trying to read these tea leaves in a darkened room with sunglasses on. You know, we're getting bits and pieces, we're hearing things, but it appears to be, from what I'm reading into this, is that the Bureau, in, as you suggested, unprecedented manner, came out and said that they have concerns about kind of gaps in information that perhaps are painting a picture of one light when they feel as though it isn't providing all the information that a reader might need. I think we kind of need to look at this in context of almost like when lawyers or law students write a brief, you know, they're reading cases and then they're briefing it down to create some kind of distilled version of what actually happened. And it appears that that's what this memo is. It's a distilled version of all of these testimony and underlying documents that the Intelligence Committee has gathered over a period of time and have put together by the committee and by Chairman Mr. Nunes in order to convey what they believe was the essence of what's been provided to them.
The FBI seems to be saying it's complicating what it wants to do, and some have criticized Republicans. Well, if you're going to release this, I mean, is there a Democratic one, that a separate memo post to this? You should release that as well. Let people decide for themselves if we're going to go this route. Get everything out there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm of the belief, Neil, and I know the other day we spoke about this, as painful as it is. I think, you know, for everyone to know what's going on gives us kind of a bit of clear vision as to how we need to kind of straighten things up going forward. However, I might suggest is that I think that almost a better way to go here is, sure, you can read these memos and interpret what you want and see where people are, you know, maybe are on both sides of the aisle are pointing fingers or identifying gaps or what should have been included, should not have been included. But the underlying information, the documents behind it, the testimony, the actual statements, I think are the things that would really provide some context here. And although it may take a while for some of those to be redacted because it may be speaking more specifically about sources and methods, and some of those need to be taken out of those documents, it would appear that those underlying documents, of which there are plentiful, you know, are the things that really could help better understand what's happened and maybe omit this politicalization from either side of the aisle.
Yeah, because it is happening on both sides. What I noticed is that Chuck Schumer was criticizing this and saying that, you know, Republicans used to stand on the side of law enforcement. I remembered, I kind of have a thick skull and don't have your memory, but I do remember he was criticizing James Comey and the department's handling of the on-again, off-again Hillary Clinton investigation, whether it was fair or whether the FBI was on a jihad at the time against her. So I know how this game is played, but is it fair game to criticize and look at the FBI? I mean, most are wonderful individuals and patriots. I'm sure I would include you among them in your days. But there's nothing wrong with looking at potential bias or something that might be deemed rigged in one party's favor or another. I mean, this is hardly without precedent. We see it at the Pentagon with the release of the Pentagon Papers. We saw it after 9/11 with lack of communication between intelligence agencies. So there's nothing wrong with that, is there?
No, Neil. There's nothing wrong with that, and I think shedding that light on it, and I know people have used the phrase of kind of putting light kind of helps sanitize things,
right.
But I do believe that going forward it helps the agency, which now the FBI, which needs to kind of recoup some of the reputational tarnish that it's been now given over the past several months regarding suggestions of politicalization, and I think going forward. It needs it, and the director needs to be able to kind of go and kind of clear things up. I would probably suggest in kind of good news story is that contemporaneous with what's going on the congressional side is that we do have an Inspector General investigation who's looking into this. Now, some of it will overlap with what the Intelligence Committee has done. And so I think before long, one way or the other, we're going to get some of those underlying facts and some of those those statements and documents that will help us all be better informed, and we can read them ourselves and make our own determination as to what may or may not have happened properly or improperly.
And that we could trust our FBI not to be a puppet to either party. You hope in the end. Thank you very much, my friend. Very good having you.